One does not simply arrive in London, one begins an odyssey, a splendid adventure across the regal city. This film stitches together several days into a single tapestry of discovery, from palatial grandeur to secret corners imbued with joie de vivre. As the aircraft traverses the polar expanse, Greenland's immense icy expanse unfurls beneath a dreamlike, humbling spectacle that flits between reality and reverie. Landing at night in the United Kingdom, London's city lights shimmer beneath as the aircraft taxis in silence. A surge of elation accompanies the first footstep onto British soil. The night air, crisp and bracing, and the gentle murmur of voices invigorate me instantly. Descending into the underground for the first time, vaulted tunnels resonate with the rhythmic hum of arriving trains. Polite passengers nod as we partake in this shared rite of passage. The subterranean journey is at once grounding and exhilarating. Emerging on the Mall, Buckingham Palace materializes in all its regal splendor, bathed softly in evening glow. The scarlet-clad guards and stately bearskins imbue the scene with gravity. One feels honored, almost vertiginously, to witness centuries-old ceremony so intimately. Passing the Victoria Memorial and strolling through St. James's Park, history wafts on evening breezes. In the distance, the silhouette of Big Ben appears a comforting nocturnal beacon amid the city's tapestry of light. There I stood beneath the gaze of Big Ben, awash in a kind of temporal vertigo. One does not merely see the clock, one is ensnared by it. Its gilded hands do not simply mark the hour, they preside over it with a solemnity that borders on the sacred. The atmosphere around Westminster feels curated, almost theatrical, as though London were unveiling its most distinguished self just for you. There is a hush here, even amid the bustle, a ruha, a quietude that brushes against the edge of awe. The smell of rain mingles with old stone and Parliament whispers. Time feels denser somehow, layered, as if this were not merely a city, but a cathedral of centuries. The tower's facade, dour, defiant, dignified, reminded me that some things were built not to impress, but to endure. And in that moment, I did not feel like a tourist. I felt like a spectator at the edge of a great and continuous play, London's ceaseless monologue, delivered in stone, fog, and bell chimes. The vast glass capsules revolve gracefully over the Thames, each silent ascent offering breathtaking panoramas and a tranquil interlude. Back on the underground, the train hums under the riverbank, corridors and platforms rushing past as anticipation builds. Soon the announcement, London Bridge stations, next my heart quickens with excitement. Stepping out by London Bridge, the modern span stands humble yet resolute in the misty night air. Though not medieval, it carries centuries of crossing souls. Tower Bridge's Gothic silhouette glows to the left. The city's skyline dazzles to the right. Each footstep here joins the chorus of Romans, poets, mothers, visionaries. A living nexus echoing history and modern rhythm here, the sublime humbles even the most worldly traveler. Heading north toward Euston, The city's character shifts. Victorian facades segue into modern office blocks and vibrant storefronts. Commuters stride past with takeaway coffees, accents weaving a polyglot tapestry. Passing St. Pancras' Gothic splendor and King's Cross's red brick vigor, I arrive at the British consulate, its dignified facade behind wrought iron railings, a beacon of diplomatic grace and welcome amid the metropolitan hum. The Emirates Stadium suddenly appears a modern coliseum of glass and steel illuminated under floodlights. Arsenal's legacy pulses here, stories of invincibles, European triumphs, unwavering pride. Standing by the cannon-adorned gates, one intuits that this stadium is more temple than arena dedicated to football's grandeur. Along the adjacent streets, Arsenal flags flutter beside pubs and street food vendors. The scent of grilled kebabs, excited chatter in red-white scarves. There's camaraderie in the air, a neighborhood aflame with devotion. Stamford Bridge arrives next. Chelsea's home, nestled in refined West London. Manicured streets and fashion boutiques flank the brick stadium, which melds early 20th century solidity with modern ambition. Here, trophies and tempered dreams coexist. The air vibrates with sporting history, even in quiet moments. Wandering through Chelsea, elegant townhouses and designer storefronts whisper of enduring prestige and tasteful restraint. The ambience feels perpetually curated. Joining the tube again, commuters bustle with purpose toward unknown adventures as I bow to the city's kinetic grace, one step at a time. Now, outside Abbey Road Studios, the quiet exterior belies cultural enormity. The Beatles recorded timeless albums here, and the zebra crossing outside remains a pilgrimage site. Walking this stretch, I can't help but grin. Music history lies literally underfoot. Stepping onto the famous crossing, I feel a whimsical hush. Here fans trace the iconic lines in homage, the ordinary pavement transformed by legacy. For a moment, I walk in their footsteps, aware that the past and I intersect in a curious harmony. At Wembley Stadium, the gargantuan arch rises proudly into the sky, a modern shrine to British sport, culture, and spectacle. Finals, concerts, historic moments, all unfolded here. Standing near its base, I feel the weight of collective memory etched into steel and concrete. A route leads back to London Bridge in daylight. The Thames below glints as traders and tourists hurry across. Though unassuming compared to its ornate sibling, this bridge's plainness is its charm. A Roman crossing once stood here. Perhaps even Saxon kings trod the same path. Graffiti whispers of cursed foundations. As I run a hand along the cool railings, I sense that each step carries echoes of countless souls. In German, Brücken verbinden bridges connect. Every crossing here binds me closer to London and, in a curious way, to myself. Dusk falls as the car ambles into West London's residential heart. White City, Shepherd's Bush, Bayswater, terraced houses, Georgian townhouses, red brick mansions drift by like a cinematic tableau. Children dribble footballs. Lamplit windows glow on cobbled streets. City frenzy yields to domestic rhythm. Brazilian cafes, neighbor, traditional pubs, cultures colliding in harmony. Named for gleaming exhibition pavilions of yesteryear, White City now pulses as a mosaic of London's many faces. The hush of evening, pierced by distant laughter and traffic, profoundly ordinary yet poetic. Here, amid domestic life, the soul of London reveals itself, unassuming, essential, unforgettable. And thus concludes this inaugural foray into the marvels of London, an exquisite tapestry woven of culture, history, and serendipity. Each step, each vista, each whisper of the underground was not merely observed, but absorbed. And though the city never ceases to unfold, this chapter comes to a dignified close. But fret not, our journey is far from over. Onwards.